to be part of this very important CI initiative, and I would like to especially warmly welcome Dr. Marcel Chair from my personal behalf. Also, is the chairman of ICMS, and Mr. Steve Vierne, who is the chair of Codex, and they are our partners since long. Mr. Lawrence Haddad, I think we have a video which we are going to play. We have a lot of on the audience. We have a lot of FSI officials, government officials, my industry friends, colleagues, friends from media. I am so happy that we are having this very important session this year slightly early. And let me start by saying that in the country has seen, at least in the last 7 8 years, a radical change. And one such radical change has been on what I call healthy India, Swasth Bharat. And our honorable Prime Minister has always talked of healthy India. And I think in a country so big, I think it is very important. And a lot of programs, a lot of activities, a lot of things have been planned. But one important thing has been the Eat Right movement. And I'm so happy that CI has been part of this Eat Right movement since the inception of this Eat Right movement. And why I'm making importance to it is that it is very important to explain youngsters from school level what to eat. In my mind, everything is good if it is in limited portions, and nothing is bad, and everything is bad if you eat too much also. So I think to understand what is portion eating, understand what to eat, understand where to eat, I think it is very important. And I think to that extent, CII face governments have done a very good job. So many programs are having, so many contests are happening, so many activities at the ground level are happening. The government is giving full support. And I think it's a good initiative. It's a role model for further such partnerships. Today's theme is also very interesting. When I read the theme, I was so happy that actually this is the theme which is going to take India to the next phase. And let me once again talk of our Prime Minister other vision, which is Make in India. And Make in India is incomplete without making India the food factory to the world. Now, how can we make India the food factory to the world? I've gone are the days where we can say we'll make cheap food, we'll make second copy, we'll make first copy, we'll follow somebody's formula. I think India has to ingenuinely make effort to make the best product in India. And to that extent, this whole sessions of today are on what? These are the issues which will make India the food factory of the world. This all the sessions the way CI has planned. It's so interesting, like sustainability. It is so important to talk of sustainability. We talk of plastic recycling. We talk of more crop per drop. We talk of various initiatives, how the food processing can work with agriculture in sustainability, how we can have wealth from waste, food safety. I believe Indian standards should be the benchmark standards for the world. There was a time when we had to go and show Indian government here is a XYZ standard. It is much better than ours. Today, I am surprised when I go abroad. Indian standard is referred to as the standards to evaluate. In so many products, our standards are at probably better benchmarks than world standards. And that is how I think even the buyers abroad are getting confidence in Indian food. They now know that FSSAI is going to ensure that Indian food is of that world quality. Similarly, for quality, I believe when we talk of Make in India is what? Make in India is not a slogan. Make in India is a mark. Make in India, when you put on your brand, this let me tell my industry friends, it stands mainly for the quality. If everybody who puts Make in India follows a certain quality, imagine what will happen. We will reach where we have to reach. People will start having confidence in us. And I think to that extent, the quality is very important is being discussed. Innovation, once again, very important. R&D, working with various academia, working with various research institutes to have what I call Indian products based on Indian Ayurveda, have organic products, have products based on Indian recipes. We are talking of the year of the millet. Let us imagine if we can be the capital of the millet capital of the world. And when we talk of, say, what I call veg, non-veg, everybody wants non-veg, but of course they want it veg also because that is more healthy. So how can we give healthy non-veg with things like millet? Now, huge market for that, $1 billion market. So that is what innovation. And last is consumer empowerment. And I believe I always tell in every session, today we are consumers first. My children drink my product first. My children eat my product first. It is up to me to ensure that he gets the best product. He has the label which he can understand. Yeah, and we ensure that he gets what I call world-class food. And to that extent, I think the new nutritional labeling having labeling based on portion sizes in India, which has come, is a very positive move, if you ask me honestly. Now, coming to FSSAI, I have been involved with FSSAI since FSSAI was formed, very frankly. Earlier, we had this Prevention of Food Adulteration Act for many, many years. It was a very sort of, old, before partition sort of product, and it was not changed. There were so many issues. And I think FSI, people, a lot of doubt. But today, let me tell you, today FSI has become not a regulator, but a facilitator. And I should congratulate all the FSI chairpersons. Probably I have met many of them before and today. They have all ensured that FSI today has become a partner for the growth of industry in a very positive manner. And more importantly, in all regulations they take inputs from industry, they take inputs from academia, they take inputs from NGOs, they take inputs from consumer groups, farmer groups. See, India is a big country, everybody has a view. And I think industry has to accept that everybody's view has to come on board. We can't have just an industry view or a consumer view. We need a farmer's view also, for example, in a lot of things. So I think FSI has done a pretty good job in having, let us say, in ensuring that there is some sort of consensus in whatever they do, in whatever form. Of course, it is difficult, but it is still, they have done it, I think. And this whole regulatory ecosystem today is based on science. I think when we approach FSI based on science, they are ready to listen. I think that is good thing, if you ask me. Our representation, when I say we mean industry, should be based on science. And vertical standards, horizontal standards are being sort of processed at a speed. I think Mang talked about it, so I won't too much time on it. But let me take some time on the futuristic trends which have been encompassed in the regulations, like AI, e-commerce, traceability, AMR. I just mentioned about nutritional labeling. Then talk of my favorite topic, which we started in Gujarat 20 years back, iodine, fortification in salt. When it came, a lot of industry friends of mine said, "Wait, this is one more bother." I said, no. When you are today making food in India, you are not making food to make money. You are making food for two reasons. One, you have to help the farmer double the income. You have to work with the agriculturists. This food processing sector is not a money making sector. It's a sector to benefit the nation. Number two, when you're making food, you fortify it, because if you ask me, so many children, they need fortification, they need iodine, they need vitamin A. So I think food fortification is something very good the government has done. Similarly, I should compliment FSSAI on the usage of additives on import foods, which have been sort of made easy, and more importantly, on time-bound product approval. Earlier, there were a lot of issues on time-bound product approval. Coming to my last leg of my little bit address, let me tell you, today, industry is fully geared. Industry is fully geared in what? Helping the government reach its goals of making India a fully developed country. By talking of doubling farmers' income, which I just mentioned, agri growth in this country has to become double X. Post-COVID, India has fed the world, let me put it this way, to whatever extent we can. Of course, there are limitations. But I think Indian agriculture can easily grow 2X. And for Indian agriculture to go 2X, food processing has to grow 4X. Only way GDP agriculture can grow is food processing should grow. And I think the Ministry of Food Processing, which also is our apex ministry, they are working very closely with the government, and Mayank and our senior other colleagues are working with the ministry almost on a daily basis. And I think some of the schemes of the government, like the PLI scheme, Product Linked Incentive Scheme, actually is going to help. It's 1 year has happened, but it's going to help change the whole sector. And PLI also will be announced for the smaller sector. It has MSMEs also in a certain way. It is also for innovative products. It is also for organic products. It is also for brand building. Great scheme. Industry can take full benefit of the PLI. Number two, top scheme. Now, of course, is top plus. Once again, industry can take benefit. The original scheme of mega food parks, in my mind, the new initiative of SEZs, how do we marry the mega food parks and SEZs? I'm taking time off on this because we have a lot of industry friends. And to grow food is also food processing industry, we need to work with the food processing and its schemes. And in the end, let me put it this way, that inclusive growth in India is the most important thing. We can't be only having developments in Gurgaons of the world or Bangalore's of the world and some pockets of Mumbai. The whole country has to grow. And if the whole country has to grow, we need to make the villages grow. And if villages have to grow, then rural and agri-based economy has to grow. And for that, agriculture and food processing is most important for the inclusive growth of the nation, for increasing the per capita income of the country, for increasing the prosperity and happiness index in the country. So this is the importance of our sector. Coming to the sessions which are there in probably tomorrow, day after, whenever they are on regulations, global best practices, innovations. And I would really encourage all my industry friends to be part of these sessions, because I'm sure there's a lot of learning in it, and I'm sure my CI colleagues will also make some notes and probably give their interventions or whatever, give their suggestions to the government from time to time based on that. I wish this